Moonfrost looks like that perfect farming game with its charming pixel art, excellent marketing, and what seems to be pretty fun gameplay mechanics. Until you realize that not only is it an NFT game, but also the developers are so keen on not telling you that this is actually an NFT game, and they're just not telling you the truth. I had a chat with one of the game's developers, and let's just say our conversation was not what I had hoped for. Let me know what you think about Moonfrost by the end of this video, and if you're still gonna play it after watching this. So there's been a few videos addressing Moonfrost, this new upcoming farming game, and there's also quite a few articles on Reddit where users are warning cozy and farming game lovers about this game. The developers of Moonfrost posted on Twitter, "What if Stardew Valley was made by a bigger team and with technology available today?" Which did not hit the way that they wanted it, because first, why are we throwing shade on another game that is actually really successful? And second, the fact that your game is an NFT game and you refuse to disclose that even on your Twitter page, which has over 57,000 followers as of the recording of this video, you know, you're not openly disclosing this anywhere. This is just unbubbly behavior. In the pinned comment that they have on Twitter, which got a lot of attention about their game, the only thing that they say that might hint at NFTs is digital collectibles. And we can both agree that the term is very vague and it can be very misleading. So I commented on that video back in March 2023, and just like you, I had no idea that this is an NFT game, and I was excited because it looks really nice. All of a sudden, I see all of these quote retweets come up on my timeline with people warning us about the NFTs in this game. And I was like, yeah, no, this is not for me, and I just forgot about it. Then in October 2024, I went to EGX. This is a game expo in London where a lot of indie developers and, you know, just people come and show off their games and different merch that they're doing, stuff like that. And I see this like very cute space which had Cattle Country as well as Moonfrost, and they had like these cute like cows and chicken statues and stuff like that. There wasn't actual cows, but I saw Moonfrost and I was like, oh, this looks like really cute. I completely forgot that this is that NFT game. And I went there and I had a chat with one of the developers, and they were so excited to talk to me about it. And honestly, I was too. I wanted to talk about their game on my channel because I was like, I love indie games and I want to support them in any way that I can. So very quickly, the developer team is called Oxalis Games. This is a company that is led by games industry veterans Gina Nelson and Rick Moore. Oxalis Games is composed of some of the best talents the gaming industry has to offer, with years of game dev experience under our belts from industry-leading studios including Epic, Mediatonic, La, and we are building a world-class team to pioneer the next generation of video games. That is what you see on their website. And very quickly, if you want to know what NFTs are, I put like a little thing on ChatGPT and I asked them to define NFTs in the simplest terms to make it easy for you to understand, but also to draw out the risks of using it. And this is what I got. So if you don't know, this is called a non-fungible token, and these are digital items that you can own online. You can buy, sell, or trade NFTs, and each one is unique and stored on the blockchain, which is a special online record that shows who owns it. They are risky to use for several reasons. First, they can be very expensive and their value might go up and down very quickly, so you might lose money. Second, some NFTs might be not as valuable as they seem because there are fake ones out there. Finally, NFTs are linked to energy use, which can hurt the environment, and this is because the blockchain needs a lot of power to run. So back to EGX, what I did is when I went home, I messaged the Twitter account of Moonfrost and I was like, oh, I'm really happy that we got to connect and I want to cover your game. And then this quickly switched back into, yeah, I'm not going to cover your game because I just realized that this is an NFT game and I do not support those. So when I said that, they messaged me back and they explained that the NFT elements are fully optional and no one is forced to interact with them. And the developer that I saw at the event actually DM'd me on Twitter from their personal account. So, you know, I wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt. I was like, okay, let me see if Moonfrost using NFTs is gonna convince me in any way, shape, or form that having NFTs in video games is gonna be a good thing. I'm not talking about the blockchain. There's a lot of arguments that it can be good for different stuff. I'm talking about NFTs in video games. And the issue that I have the most is the dishonesty part. So just keep, like, when I'm telling you everything that happened, keep remembering the dishonesty part. And for privacy reasons, I'm not gonna tell you who I was talking to. It's just one of the lead developers for Oxalis Games. And also, I did let them know that I have the intention of making this video. So when the video comes out, I don't want them to feel like blindsided or anything. I did tell them that I'm gonna be making a video about the game and all of this. So my biggest concern is that the marketing is misleading. And I wanted to see why the developer team is not being more honest honest about the implementation of NFTs. Like they even had that massive booth at EGX, and not in a single poster or anything like that did I see the mentioning of NFTs there, okay? So that's not okay. And the same can be said about their website. When you go to their website, all you see is a brief description of the game, and then there's like a tab all about investors, which is pretty odd because usually game companies are gonna tell you who the investors are at the ending section of one page, and that's it. Whereas with Moonfrost, there's like this whole page about the investors and links to go to them, and then they don't have that much information about the game itself. However, to the developers' defense, they said that, oh, this website is very old, so, you know, they are not really relying on it. But it's really weird for me because the first thing that you see when you go to their Twitter page is that website. So people are naturally going to click on that website to see your game. So update it maybe. Also, they said that, and listen to this because this whole paragraph was just weird to me. They said, there has been so many gross NFT games and projects, and it's just made anything related to blockchain unappealing. But they were confident that I'm gonna understand if they explain more. So basically, they're saying that the game Moonfrost is heavily based on trading, and instead of them making their own auction system, they decided to rely on Web3 to make sure players are more secure when trading items. And they told me that, oh, we did this like small experiment to keep things transparent with you, where the focus was to show that they don't need NFTs, which is contradictory because the experiment itself gave NFTs for free for their top 500 players in their second alpha phase. And the developer was trying to tell me like, oh, we're not gonna get any royalties from these, and the reason why we did this was to reward players who have NFTs in their inventory. They also told me that they have a cohort of 500 players, which helps them playtest the game and receive feedback. And then they reiterated again that these NFTs are not necessary for the game, but if you want to use the trading option, you can do so outside of Moonfrost. So like they're not gonna get any benefit out of this. And then they go on to tell me that the word NFT has horrible connotations because of all the scam projects out there, which is why they tend to call them cards or blueprints. By the way, hello, you gorgeous human being, it's Miss Bubbles. If you're enjoying this video so far, squish the like and subscribe buttons. This is a great indicator for YouTube to know that this is a good video and that we are letting other cozy gamers be aware of what is going on behind the closed doors of Moonfrost. And the whole paragraph that they sent me was just weird because first, you just admit that NFTs are associated with scams, so you decided to make up your own terms to disguise that this is an NFT game. And then you go and try to argue your way into why NFTs can be disregarded and it's just an optional thing that you can do in the game, yet the reward that you gave to your core 500 cohort was NFTs. The math is not mathing. And for me, I was trying to like see like how can I reach to this developer and like make them understand why this is concerning and it's unethical. I told them, imagine I go to Dubai and I open a halal restaurant and customers are coming in thinking that they're eating halal meat, only to realize, no, actually my meat is pork, which is not halal. But I'm not telling my customers that I'm serving them pork because if they find out that they're eating pork, they're not gonna eat at my restaurant because pork has a bad association in Islam. Like, how is that ethical? What? I also go on and ask a bit more about the NFTs, and I'm trying to like make a point that you can make a successful game without relying on NFTs. And for them, they're trying to argue about like, oh, COVID made things so much harder. Investors are not really giving money anymore. It's not like things are not the same. And it's very hard to find, you know, any investors these days. And they felt like they found these crypto-based investors that supported their game. And again, they keep like insisting why the NFTs are not necessary to the gameplay. So if it's not necessary to the gameplay, why do you have it there? And then if you say like, oh, it's because we had to rely on these investors, Ubisoft, how many games have they put out right now, NFT driven, and they're complete flops? And again, you know that NFTs are associated with scams. When people are trading outside of your game, they're gonna be exposed to scams. Like, what? And then they try to give me like an example where they're trying to think like, oh, this is gonna make me understand. So they told me like how they wished in a game called Hearthstone, they wish they can sell the cards that they've collected to make money out of it, etc. You know, sure, by all means, if you want to use NFTs and that's what you want to do, that's not my problem. Go ahead and do it. The problem is dishonesty. That's the first thing that I said in this video. Like, why are you being dishonest? Why are we using colorful, charming, whatever words like blueprints, digital collectibles, and cards. Just say it's an NFT. I don't care what kind of connotation it has. Just say it how it is and let your people who are going to play your game know what they're signing up for. Even if your game is free, that doesn't mean that you can have this kind of system in your game and having also like a cohort of 500 people who have tested the game and they got rewards. I found out through Josh's video that apparently one of the licenses is selling for $700. One of these NFTs, you need $700 to buy it. What? And then they also like argue a little bit about how they have no marketing budget, which is odd because they made over $6 million from the investors. So where is the money going? Because you cannot tell me that this game has cost you $6 million. Also, one funny thing is that they kept referencing Supercell, which is one of their investors, and they kept saying like, oh, Supercell is not a blockchain-based investor or anything like that. If you just take a quick look on Reddit, you can see how many posts are out there because Supercell is a horrible company. One other thing, Moonfrost is also going to be free on Epic Games only, and there's a reason for that because Steam does not allow NFTs on their website. In fact, Steam has banned NFTs because they are known to be sketchy. So even if trades are made outside of Steam, the game itself is going to be the initial point of you getting scammed. Now, Moonfrost has issued a post where they said that their game has a system where you can determine if an NFT is a fake or not. But still, like, why do your players have to go through the system of potentially getting scammed? Eventually, our conversation ended with them acknowledging all the issues that I brought up, and they said that they're gonna bring it up to the team and that someone called Jace, who is responsible for the community, will reach out to me. That was 3 months ago and I never heard from Jace. I posted this on my community post and I asked if you guys would support a game like this, and majority of you said you would not. So I think that we already are seeing how people feel about you being dishonest about having NFTs in your game and coloring it with other words just to disguise the fact that the game has NFTs in it. Now, our lovely mod Kaiju had a deep dive into the company and he joined their Discord server. He found a channel that is locked and it's meant for people who are okay with using NFTs. Sure, you can say like maybe this is a good thing, maybe they can keep users safe, but at the end of the day, they themselves acknowledge that NFTs are associated with scams and garbage products. You still have an emphasis on your NFTs. You cannot say it's not. You also had it as a reward to your cohort, so obviously NFTs are being rewarded for their usage in your game. It's crucial to say that cozy gamers love decorating and they love collecting decoration items. When your game is targeted at this kind of community who loves collecting games, it's not fair for them to not know what they're signing up for. It's not fair for them to play the game just because, oh, it's free, and then later down the line they see that all of these other people have these like really cool stuff that they have and they wish they can have it, but they can't because then they have to sign up for an NFT. At the end of the day, my audience is you. You're most probably an RPG lover or a cozy game enthusiast. I need to be sure that you are aware of things like this to protect you from potential scams. What you do from here is up to you. I know that I can now sleep soundly knowing that I told you what has happened. I did not stay quiet about this, and whatever you decide to do from here on then is up to you. And I have no problem with the developer that talked to me. In fact, they're very lovely, very fun to talk to, and they're very smart. I don't have any problem with the team, but I do have a problem with dishonesty. So I really hope that this video will drive the team forward into being more honest, updating their website, and then changing the pinned tweet from digital collectibles to anything that would disclose the fact that NFTs are there. And with the fact that we have so many upcoming farming games in 2025 and beyond that are just insane, and a lot of things are happening behind closed doors that you might know about. Perhaps one of these games is on your radar, and you should know that it's been in development hell for 6 years now, and there's so many questions going on about that game, so watch this video next. Thank you to my YouTube and Bubbly patrons for making videos like this possible, and a shout out goes to the Game Dimension, Jake Logan, and Stephanie for going the extra mile. Until next time, stay bubbly.